From the mind of El Rico Studios. It's the top 1%. Four friends from Escambia High School to Pensacola, Florida, give their takes on family, relationships, sports, entertainment, and business. Your host, CEO, director, writer, producer, El Rico Tunstall, along with business and marketing expert Alex Ennis. We got rap artist and actor Crook, aka Austin B, as well as cool, never the fool, Mr. Pay the Man himself, that boy there, LG. It's the top 1%.
I be flexing when I'm high, I be coolin' when I'm low. Timber tucked off in my jeans, I'm too cool to let it show. I'm a fool to let you know, I'ma play it how it go. I could stop, I would shop and cut the flow. I'ma say what I'ma say. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Island of Relevancy. This is the top 1%.
Woo! Back in the building.
Yeah, man.
What's up, fellas?
That's right. And don't nobody do it like we do it. Ain't that right, G?
That's right.
Bring this guy in because I know he was the originator, the one that sculpted everything. Him and TA. Shout out TA real quick.
TA, what's up, boy?
There we go. There we go. So the music, because I know in one of these episodes, one day we're going to talk about the genius that is. But until that episode comes, tell us, what was the thought process? What was going through your mind, man, after what we just heard? It sounds very genius.
Well, that was the beat was created by TA. Shouts out to True Ambition. TA is short for True Ambition, if y'all didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, TA just created the beat. He titled the beat Broke Bridge. I was on the phone when I called G and talked about it and put his verse on there and blessed the track, man. And
what's up? That's
yeah,
what's up,
got a full
man.
song.
G, man, what'd you feel like, man, when you put that anointing on that track, man? What was it like, man, when you first heard the beat?
Man, I was in for the beat, man. And then I had to put my boy up in there, you know. Y'all gonna hear it up in there, double A. Y'all lost double A.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to put him up in there, you know, talk about him. But yeah, just smooth. We try to do something smooth. We try to just get something relaxing that people can hear and they can vibe to that and they can understand that song.
Man, after hearing that track, a little bit of it, we just gave a little tease of it. What's your thoughts, man? We got the artist actually sitting right here. What's your thoughts on it?
Man, all I got is one word. Vibe.
Okay.
It's a vibe.
Okay. All right. And there's nothing like, you know, having your music out there and actually being heard. And I know for all of us, we've heard different music growing up. For me, I was raised in a house where it was gospel. That's all I heard originally before I actually started developing these friendships in 5th grade, meeting Crook, and in 6th grade and 7th grade, meeting Alex, and then going in high school, meeting G and the rest of the crew. Like, we heard Shirley Caesar growing up. We heard Canton Spirituals, things of that nature.
Mississippi Mass Choir.
Yeah,
Georgia
like
Mass Choir.
yeah, like my mom and dad would put that on around the house. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't even really into Southern Soul. Southern Soul wasn't even a thing back then, but they wasn't even into blues music, as they call it. They would really basically just play church music all day. That's it. And I think that had a heavy influence on me. Okay, but I can recall when the time came and I started developing these friendships outside of my house, because when you're young, your home is everything. The only thing that influences you is everything inside those walls. But as I got older and got outside and I had the opportunity to actually hear different rappers, to actually hear, you know, this music where they weren't singing about God. They weren't singing about, you know, worshiping and nothing like that. They had that singing about, I'm gonna get this money. You know, I ride harder than anybody. You can. It was because back then the rap was a little bit different. It wasn't like the rap of today. They rapped about either how they gonna get the money. You know,
had Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah,
that's funny that you thought it's the first of the month.
You know, stuff like that. You know, when you gonna get the money. You know, so it's your first of the month. You know, you had rappers
Snoop
like that.
sipping on gin and juice.
Gin and juice, you know. But then you fast forward, what are some of the songs of today that you hear that is going to be representation of you when you get to be our age and you're talking to the next generation after you?
If I could be complete honest with everyone here at Top 1%, no music in my generation is not influencing the next generation.
Now, that is a very powerful statement to make, knowing that you guys have a voice of a generation that is a part of your generation. His name is NBA Boy, young boy.
Yeah.
I'm already filling in the gap. So for you to say that, and you on this panel,
He gonna have to change it when they get by 30. Gonna be NBA old boy.
NBA man would be the same.
Something.
But I mean, to say that, knowing that he is out of here and he's influenced, I would say at least 70% of your generation. That is a very deep, hot take to make. So do you want to stand on that? You want to stand on it?
I stand on that 100%. I feel like with the new generation coming up, Gen Alpha, like the stuff that our generation is making, like Young Boy is cool, but he's not like speaking like, like how y'all generation, they had creativity, they had charisma, all that.
UGK.
Now it's just the same thing. Like they rap about the same thing. It's just like, I mean, what's new?
Wow, man. Now that is a mouthful. We got to go to our resident historian, KROOK. Man, this young man just said something very powerful about his generation and the generation now.
He's smart enough to understand what's going on. He's not a fool. So. That's a strong, powerful statement. As far as what he's talking about to me is, what is the next generation? What is somebody who's 10 years old? What is somebody who's 8 years old, 5 years old now going to be influenced by? If it's not the drill rap coming out of Chicago or the United Kingdom, it's NBA Youngboy. Well, it's not NBA Youngboy, it's Roddy Ricch from California. You know what I mean? So it's like, unless they're having more and more artists, which to artists' credit, you don't really know who the next artist is going to be. In fact, I mean, NBA Youngboy's been out for a while, but Baby Out of Cash Money likes to talk about that a lot when he's on camera, about discovering NBA Youngboy and his popularity and how he would be a hit, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. But I just think that it's the artists that influence the music, and the artists themselves know better than the average person who just buys and listens to music about the genres and about the frequencies and about the sound that they want to create. And sometimes you're a technical person, pragmatic person, and the overall time signature for music is 4/4 time, which is da 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 da. Then if you're a creative person, you can understand how to flow instead of being basic and flowing with da 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 da. So reason why I'm saying that is, if you think about how rap was in the 80s and the way rap and in the 90s and then 10 and then things got progressively fast, it's like, well, there's not really any rappers that can do the rap fasting thing, the tongue twisting thing no more, because it's already been done. It's not too many rappers now that can do a duet, because we had that in the 90s as far as rap. And then you get an R&B singer to sing the hook on it, And Tupac did that, Method Man did that. So it was a lot of hits that was back at that time. Nobody from rap and R&B kind of collided musically. Now we're all skin folks, so we are part of the same culture. The next generation is influencing the next generation, and it's not always one artist. It's like one artist may be the popular artist, and you have all these other artists in the underground and before trying to bubble up to push the genre forward or new. So usually out of that underground scene is when the next big thing comes up, because they've been buried in the underground for so long and doing work. So whatever the way the commercial wave is, it's not really seeing them, and then eventually they become the commercial wave, and then we have the next wave. So yeah, that's interesting, Malachi. I appreciate that opinion.
That's right. Yeah, I gotta say that things change through the years, and there's a difference between rapper and artist. An artist can make something to whatever they want. A rapper just gonna rap the way people want him to rap. Me, I'm not gonna do that same thing. I'm not finna do what you want me to do. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and then if you dig it, you dig. If you don't, you don't. You feel me? But I'm doing it because I'm an artist. I'm trying to make something. I'm trying to make a Picasso. You want me to scribble on some paper, but I'm trying to make a Picasso. You feel me? I'm trying to make something happen. The music back then, people actually tried to grind for, because there was no Google. You can't Google, you can't internet, you can't just play something. You actually had to buy a tape
You had to paint a picture with your words. You had to paint a picture with your
Right. You
words.
actually had to have skills. You can't just come out with something and then just put it on the internet and then hope for the best. You actually had to think about it. You had to figure it out. You feel me? And so the artists these days, I give shouts out to all of them because they killing it. The big ones, NBA Young Boy, all of them. I give them shouts out because they killing it. They making their money. They doing what they need to do. But that's a fact of money. When you actually care in the product that you do, you're gonna do it a certain way. But I ain't gonna hate nobody for making that money.
Do you feel that back in our era, in the 90s, 80s, 90s, the world was more one or two people were making the decisions about who would be the next big artist? When in today's time, the internet, as G just pointed out, gives a voice to everybody to say who's hot and who's not. Because the only way that artist can get to that point and get big is if they've got 3-4 million views, 3-4 million likes. When back then it could be a producer or an A&R could walk into a bar and hear you an open mic, and he's the one person that breaks you. Now the internet breaks you, and there's millions of people. So which one has more power? And that's the question that I pose. And which one has more value? In your mind, is it that one A&R guy that could walk into an open mic and choose the person and give us the substance of a Kendrick Lamar, or maybe even somebody that could change the culture? Or is it the people who blew up on TikTok first and they end up making the Island Boys, and next thing you know, they're on tour, doing an Island Boy or whatever.
I'm an island boy. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Stop. It's the same type of game, but you gotta realize where the game at. Back then, you have to be in person. You have to hustle. You actually had to do something. Now you can press a few buttons and you out there. So like now, so many people are rapping now. You just gotta sound different. Back then, I didn't hear somebody that rapped in the club across the nation. I didn't hear about you. I never hear about you. But if I heard your music, I'm gonna be like, ooh, this different. I'm back. Now it's like everybody is, well, it sounds like so-and-so. I ain't gotta buy it. I can just stream it or just listen to it 1-2 times. Only certain music hits. But back then you actually had to hustle, and then when you heard something that sounds a little bit different, you're finna buy it. You're finna purchase it. You're finna be a fan. You might not hear they might be garbage, but you heard one song that they got and you're gonna think that they good. It was different back then.
Which one weighs more for you, Malachi?
It's to me, it's the AR one. Just seeing someone like open mic and like put someone on just like that instead of going on TikTok and just getting like 30 million views off of just one thing. Nah, get it out like the mud and stuff. Get out the mud. So I feel like first options is the best one.
Gotcha. Well, if you look at it, I'm gonna let Crook go here in a second. There was an artist named Justin Bieber. Scooter Braun found him on, I believe it was YouTube. Okay. Now there is some exceptions to the rule where you can find that one artist, and Justin Bieber is one of those exceptions to the rule because Justin Bieber ended up to go on, and I think everybody in the world knows the kid's name, to have one of the biggest musical careers in history. Okay. So there are some exceptions to the rule, but you got to think he was one person that found him, because Justin he didn't blow up on YouTube. He found him, took him to, was it Usher first? I think they took him to Usher. It was somebody else for Usher, and then Usher ended up getting him. Yeah, that's how that works. Let's see what our resident expert KROOK thinks.
Shout out to Crook.
I think it's a lot of different factors going in, so it's gonna take me a little bit. So kids, I hope you got your student hats on right now. So with the social media aspect of things, it definitely has cut the major labels and everybody outside of it. Now the artist can just go straight me to the listener, or the artist to the listener instead of having to go to the label, and then the label gets you the, you know what I'm saying, the listeners and or customers, depending on how you're looking at it. A&R is actually representative of the letters actually representative of artist development. And there is no artist development in today's rap game today compared to the times when the 90s and the 2000s where somebody is willing to go into these clubs, bars, looking at the social media or internet and willing to, okay, that person is talented. They may not have the music production that I think is popular now. Let me get them, see what more they got, put a bag back behind them, support them, and let them grow within the artistry. And sometimes that would take 3 to 4 or 5 years, depending on type of artist that you are. Because, you know, musicians, rock and roll stars, rap artists, people can take different times depending on what genre of music that they're in. And so going back to when we were younger, going and getting out the mud, selling your own CDs, the distribution companies would come in because you've already shown that you can sell these CDs in these markets. So, for example, Cash Money was selling hundreds of thousands of CDs before they signed their deal in 1998. Master P was already selling out the back of his trunk and selling hundreds of thousands of tapes and CDs before he got his deal with a Priority. With that being said, you have that part of the component of what we're used to seeing not happening anymore. And then you have the other side of things, which as far as the artist. Sometimes the artist can get discovered by a major label or an A&R searching for him. But now, what do I need to use you for? I have the internet. I can put my own stuff out. I don't need you for anything. And then at the same time, why do I need to develop my own self when I already have an audience? And some of today's music is like that. The sound quality is not like how when we came up. When we came up, you didn't hear a lot of people who had stuff coming out of pre-production on the radio. Like pre-production was just something some people did. It was just like, yeah, you recorded it. And so you knew when you heard the car at a gas station, you knew you heard the car at a grocery store, that it was somebody who worked on it in their own house at their own time versus a Cash Money, Bad Boy, or a No Limit sending their work off to be mastered and equalized all throughout in the album. With that going on, now artists don't want to wait to be developed either. It's like, why do I need to develop my jump shot? I'm already averaging 20 points. Why do I need to shoot free throws? I can already get to the hoop at any time I want to. Miss a free throw and knowing that the free throw is going to add into my point total, add into my career averages. See, artists don't want to, they want it right here and right now. So if they sign with a label, they're automatically thinking, well, this label is supposed to blow me up. And that goes missing with putting in the work, which what G was talking about and what Malachi was talking about. Because at the end of the day, even though we do have the internet and social media, you still have to go, hey, my name is Crook. Hey, nice to meet you. My name is Crook. I'm a rap artist. My name is Crook. Hey, nice to meet you. You know, stream my music. You just can't put out some music and then just let it sit.
Switch it up and change the game. Rest in peace, I rest in pain. How can you double a million when money ain't a thing? Hey, rest in peace to Lead. Rest in peace to Double A. Rest in peace to Mango. If y'all don't know, y'all need to see it. Hey, rest in peace, my guys. Love
Too,
y'all.
because I like this because tonight we're talking about music and we're talking about, you know, culturally changing what we already were adapted to, what we were, and now we're becoming something else. We've evolved into something else. Now, do we see this same thing happen in, say, rock and roll? When's the last time? And I think my brother actually brought this up. Shout out to YT. He brought up something about it was a black rock band that it just came out and he was making a big deal about it. Me personally, I don't really see this problem taking place in the world of rock and roll. Now, I may be mistaken because maybe I'm not just paying enough attention. I know you guys are deeply into music, but it's the same thing happening over in the band space where, you know, bands are now being broken on the internet because my algorithm doesn't pick it up. So I wouldn't see if a new band was big in Seattle right now and they just killing all the numbers. So are they having the same problem in rock and roll that we are having right now in rap?
No, there is money being funneled into rap to keep certain people popular. Oh, well, you want to talk about?
Hold on, because you have got to. I hate the repeat thing, but you got to repeat that for the audience because there's some listeners out here that you're about to wake up by saying what you're about to say. So go ahead and say
I
that
listen
again.
to heavy metal. I listen to heavy metal a lot. I can tell you bands. We can go back to history. We can, we can talk all of that stuff. But what I do know is there is not money being pumped into metal for their negative music like there is in rap. Rap, the powers that be, you have to look at who all the big labels, their names, their CEOs, and what they look like. And it is definitely of my belief that rap is set on the same paradigm as heavy metal music. And now if you're seeing that rap is not on the Billboard charts, the same thing happened on the heavy metal. Except for us is the rap that's being pumped in that we do have, a lot of it is negative. I'm not saying that we didn't have negative music, because trust me, we did in the 90s and early 2000s. But then there's a lot of people that just had a balance, or a lot of people changed. And right now, that music for us was harder to get. And then, going back to what you said too about our parents, some of our parents, like me, you, and LG, we was raised in Christian households, strict households. So a lot of our parents wouldn't even allow us to hear curse words, let alone for us to get multiple CDs of, multiple tapes of a certain artist. A lot of the harder stuff was underground, and I can testify to this. LG and LG's older brother had put me on to a lot of stuff back when we was younger too. Like, man, I ain't never heard this. Man, they talking about what? Oh my goodness, Cash Money BG is how old? Man, he's my age and he's rapping about this stuff, man. Versus nowadays, where you can just hear somebody in, for the example, the song Percocet that Future had. A long time ago, he's literally talking about Percocet, Molly, Percocet, and that song was a hit about drugs. And I have a cousin, shouts out to my cousin, he's 26, 25, married, and with just had his firstborn child too. So shouts out to Cuzzo. But long story short, he was playing that when he was young to his grandmother, which is my auntie. And then she was actually using that because she injured her knee and she had to get out the workforce. Pretty much her body forced her to retire. So she's on Percocets and then trying to battle the substance abuse that comes along Percocet. And then she got her grandson like, Grandma, come listen to that song. And then she's like, get that out of here, because she's definitely a strict parent also too. And very, very religious, very Christian. And it was just, I'm just amazed because my cousin is smart enough to understand, like, okay, well, this is what the song is about. He's not old enough to understand what the drug actually is used for. You know what I'm saying? What Percocet is used for. It's just a hot beat. The video was dope and it's popular and millions of people are watching it and talking about it at school the next day. So
more money is really pumped into advertising and marketing and putting this type of negative derogatory message out to Gen Z, and even our generation. It affects some of, because there's and I'm sure this is something LG's probably gonna pop in on when we talk about influence, especially toward the female population of the Gen Z and Alpha that's coming up now, because when you got women like Glorilla and the ones that's running
Meg
around,
the Stallion,
there's a list
Sexy
of them I
Red.
go down, that's just talking nothing but just trash majority of the time, talking nothing but trash. Like, this affects the next generation. So what are your thoughts on that, LG, knowing that music is powerful and this is the message, that they are using to get into the psyche of our young people?
Yeah, see, back in the day, if you got a bad record, they ain't want to sign you because you're a liability. But these days, they don't care, because if you get arrested, that's more promotion for them. That's free promotion. So if you're talking bad, that's better promotion. Back then, they want you to kind of calm down. Look, Kim and them did it a different way, but they were that. Population now, everybody now is, oh, he got a record. We might want to sign him to a record deal. How that work? Like, because they know they're going to trap that person in that record deal. So when they get out, they still stuck. It ain't no such thing really as a 2-year contract. You got so many albums, so many songs you got to do. And when they trap you up in there, you're stuck with it, or they can sue you. Shouts out to Gorilla and all them, but they know who listening to it. We was at a little party a little while ago, and then I seen little kids dancing, knowing every word to every song, everything, every move. I'm like, no, you can't beat my kid because I'll beat you. You know, I ain't got no kids, so you can't, can't nobody use this in the court of law. Judge. But hey, yeah, I'll beat you for that. Like, you dancing like this, you what? How old you is? I ain't even trying to figure it out. I can put my elbow on your head. You know what I'm saying? You down that low? No, that you small. I know that ain't right. But hey, money talks over people. If I ever made it on some stuff like that, I would chill out after I have enough money because I'll be like, I want people to be right. But do your thing. You feel me?
Why are 13, 12-year-olds that are in middle school listening to Sexy Red? Why are middle schoolers listening to Glorilla? Like, these are the questions that we need to have, because why are they getting influenced by these female rappers that are talking junk, talk about their bodies, talk about having sex stuff? Like, they don't even be hearing. And sometimes, and this is a hot take, and low key, it might be the parents that be influencing them to this.
I was going there. I was about to go there.
You got to think of the bigger question: who's putting the money behind these people to keep them in our face and keep them on a radio station? Malachi.
Oh yeah,
like, people. There's a million Glorrillas that's out here. There's a million female rappers that's rapping the same stuff that Glorilla. Why is she and Sexy Red the ones? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of female rappers, and there's a lot of female rappers that's rapping about stuff that's normal and regular in everyday life too, from Texas to Louisiana to New York, and they're not being heard whatsoever. A shifting that has happened too, and then a lot of it is to do with the education too, because back when we were coming up, a lot of us demanded, especially if you had good grades, you know what I'm saying, what you wanted to hear on the radio basically reflected who you are as a person. And that's something that we understood back when we were coming up, versus the people that's listening to the radio station now or listen to radio now that has control of calling in and requesting who they want. So if people are calling in and requesting Glorilla, then like you said, it could be the parents or the children of those parents.
A Gorilla song on the radio, any song like that, Sexy Red, play in the club, I'm on the floor. Don't get me wrong, but it's 21 and older. But I'm on the floor. I'm going to get there. I'm going to find my way from by the bar all the way over there.
Malachi, you made a very strong point, because if you rewind this conversation all the way back to the beginning, and I told everyone listening to this podcast, Shirley Caesar, Ken Spirituals, Mississippi Mass Choir, that was what I was exposed to at home, which set a foundation for me, as far as when it came to what my ears was adjusted to hear and what I thought good music and singing was all about. There are some parents who are 17 right now that are, just turning 23, 24, who haven't grown up, whose, children, are being raised by other children. And because they don't have that big mama in their life, there is no more, real, unks. They kind of stand up, and protect they nieces, you know what I mean? And be like, nah, you ain't finna be around here. You ain't finna get in the car with that dude. You not finna go over to that and hang out on top. We don't have those big unks, those big mamas no more. Those days are over. So now these little young parents are peeling back the
teen pregnancy, man. I don't know.
There's a difference between good music and hood music. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely a big difference.
That one.
Definitely a big difference, man. Well, look, top 1%, man. We are all about the strong topics. We are all about keeping it a buck. But now it is time to do what we always do right about this time. That sounds like Crook.
Once again, shout out TA.
Lightning, exciting.
That gets better and better every time I hear it. Shout out T. Hey, my boy. ATL. What's that area code? Crook?
404. The 404.
Actually,
it's a bunch of them. It's 770, 678, 470.
Yes,
the Atlanta, the Metro.
There we go. But look, it is our favorite part of the show. This is the part where we talk about the Mount Rico Moore. This is the top 4 of what we think should be the standard in everything, at least in the top 1% mind. So tonight's topic for the top 4 is going to be the top 4 comeback stories of all time. The top 4 comeback stories of all time. We're talking about people who went through the mud, people who endured, people who just took and didn't just settle for, let's just like, you know what? We're going to make it. So tonight,
easy for me.
We about to give it to you straight up, baby. No chaser. Y'all ready for it? And of course, always I have to go first so I can give my people over here a chance to kind of get their thoughts together. So let me go ahead and kick this off, all right? To the top comeback stories of all time, the Mount Rico Moore. You got to put slaves, black people, to come back through enduring all. Think about it, man. We were held back. We were spit on. We was put in the bottom of ships. They was taken and just pulled from their country, given nothing, and say, build this country for us. And if you ain't saying Africans that came over on them ships, man, I don't know what to tell you. But I got to put them up there. They got to be on my biggest comeback stories of all time. Because look at us now. We're owners. We actually can sit on a podcast and just tell our ideas and say what we want to say. You know, we can wear shades if we want to. You know, we can also be in movies like the ones that's playing behind me right now, if you're watching, called Southern Village, streaming on Tubi, Apple TV, Roku, What the Heart Wants. You know what I mean? So shout out, man. Shout out right there. That's the first one. The second one, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit more modern time. Biggest comeback story. I got to say to my boy MJ, man. When MJ took that sabbatical and went and played baseball and said, you know what? I don't think I'm going to return back and just win me 3 more championships. I don't think nobody else can do that. Ain't nobody else can just walk away from the game, swing a bat, and be like, I'm bored with this. Let me go back and just dominate the league. Shout out to Michael Jordan. I also got to give love to, she was beaten. She was taken advantage of, plucked from as a young age, but she took and overcame all of that and became one of the biggest artists of all time. That's Tina Turner. Tina Turner went through a lot, man, coming from a small, humble beginnings of nothing and having Ike Turner beat the you-know-what out of her and being told what to do. But when she came out with Private Dancer and What's Love Got to Do with It, and that whole little, it's just her whole vibe of who she was. Tina Turner, man, you a legend. You a legend, and you deserve to be on this list. And last but not least, I'm just going to throw this name in there. If y'all don't know, y'all already know. The shirt says, acknowledge me. I am one of the biggest comeback stories of all time. My story is still being written. You may throw dirt on my name. You may try to bury me. But look here. I rise. I rise. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the crew. I'm done preaching. Put your collection plates out. Let's go ahead and jump on. You know what? We ain't had G go first in a while.
Man, let me say, first of all, it's going to be you, my dog. Because, hey, you brought all us up in this thing. Hey, we ain't see each other in years, but guess what? We back together and we doing big things, and it was immediately. And then it's a lot of haters out there. Let me say that. And then I'm just wondering why the name's still in your mouth and you keep saying the same thing when you know it ain't nothing gonna change. Everything gonna be just like it is, and everything's good on this side. I hope things get better on your side. So for my second one, I want to say I hope the biggest comeback story is the haters. I hope y'all can come back. Y'all say it, because no, it ain't no need for that. It ain't no need, period. Point blank, just keep it the same. You know, run your thing, and then we run ours, and we can run it together, all us. And then my next comeback is gonna be me, because I want to come back to all y'all. You know me? I've been gone. I'm trying to come back. I'm trying to be in y'all face. I'm trying to help whoever I can help. If you down with me, I'm down with you. You feel me? And then I gotta give it to the rest of the top 1%, Crook and CT for coming on, helping us, because CT made me come back on the music. Rico did too. That they put me with some songs. Shouts out to J Sap. Let me get J Sap out there. I'll check his music out too, because hey, without y'all, it ain't no me right now. Let me just say that I'll be a whole different person, and I appreciate y'all for bringing me back to where I need to be. So shouts out to everybody, and let me applaud everybody that is watching. Shouts out to y'all. Thank you.
That's what's up, man. You ready for the acceptance speech, boy? Look, I need to put a trophy in your hand, man. It's like you at the Grammys right now.
I was finna stand up, but the camera, I'd have been way up there. You feel me? I was ready to stand up, throw the phone and everything.
I love it. I love it, man. All right. Malachi.
My top four. You know, we got to go with, you know, Tribal Chief, you know, that's right here. You know, shoot. They thought you was in the grave. You came back. You risen. It was Easter. You risen like you was Easter.
Thank you, son. Thank you, son.
Then second.
I haven't done this in a couple episodes.
Second, you know, give me Michael Jordan. Yeah, taking a 2-year absence on basketball, coming back, and being on an MVP level. Oh yeah, that's different right there. MJ. And then third, give me Robert Downey Jr., man.
Oh, you read? Yeah.
Controversy.
Respect.
He was that then. It's a now.
Respect.
He's like. He became from controversy to now Iron Man. That is a comeback.
Yeah. 100% agree, man. There would be no MCU.
Without
Iron Man. If Iron Man didn't break the mold, he did it. Yeah.
And then, but last not least, I just want to say myself, and especially in the education field, like. If you want to talk about comebacks in the education field, oh yeah, I'm like Brady in the Super Bowl 23. Like comeback I had, oh yeah.
I love it, man. And we are all witnesses. Yeah, because I've seen it, bro. You got a huge comeback. Love it, son. Good job, man. I love it.
Job, Malcolm X. Hurricane, the boxer, Denzel Washington played him in the movie. Go watch it. And then the fourth one would be, let's go with George Washington Carver.
Okay. So only one of them I have to ask you a question on. So what made you choose Hurricane? What made you choose him out of all the athletes that you could have chose? Why him?
Hurricane did prison time and then became a boxer and won a championship. I mean, I could have said Bernard Hopkins, but yeah, they actually did a movie about Hurricane and Denzel Washington played him.
All right. Well, this has been an amazing episode, man. We talked a lot about music and we had a good time doing it. And all I got to say is nothing lasts forever.
All right. Let's come back to our senses.
I think I'm about to crash out and mash out, take the last out. I'm catching them like fish cause I'm a cast out. I got them hooked by the fin, don't let it drag out. I'm channeling, watching when they pull the bag out. Eyes closed, can't focus, gotta lash out.